Welcome back to another one of Nathan Bell's commentary videos. Like it, share it, tell your friends. We're building up to 100 of these videos and then we're going to tell you what we're doing with those. But today, Nathan wants to talk to you about the state of the world.
Yeah, well, I've thought a lot about the state of the world in my life. I've always been very aware of tragedy and suffering in the world. I think there's a lot of tragedy and suffering in the world. Actually think tragedy and suffering are a part of the nature of the universe because the universe is just natural selection and survival. I come from a position where in my 20s, my mentality, I was hanging out with a lot of communist groups and reading a lot about communist philosophy. And my mentality in my 20s was that I thought that society should be agrarian, so I was very anti-industrialisation, very anti-technology, and I thought that we should all go back to living rural lives, farming and living off land and being self-sufficient and having self-sustaining houses, so everyone should be self-sustaining and contain themselves in their unit, and that we should all and in nice balance with nature, not destroying the planet. Now I still believe that we shouldn't destroy the planet, but what I've come to realise, I don't see technology and industrialisation as this big threat to the planet anymore, so long as we use green energy and everything is clean and we recycle. So my big thing is that we should use green energy and that we should recycle all the things that we produce. We need to, recycling needs to be everything. We need to recycle everything that we can recycle, especially like all this rare stuff that's in cell phones and stuff, which is only in finite amount on the planet. We're not going to, we're going to use it all, and then we're not going to be able to make cell phones and computers anymore. But I was really anti-technology in my 20s, and really wanted to go back to a natural way of living with nature, and that was my thinking at the time. But I've come around as I've gotten older to embrace the Industrial Revolution, because what I've realised is it's a simple thing as the fact that we have a unit in our house, a space in our house where there's a shower and a bathtub and running water. That's all industrialisation, and God forbid, I couldn't think to live without that anymore. I don't know what I was thinking when I was young, thinking that I would want to live that way. The fact that we have microwaves, refrigerators, we can store food and keep food for weeks on end without it perishing. The fact that we have air conditioners for when it's hot and heaters for when it's cold. So I've come to see that these things are making life better and lifting the standard of living, and that's technology and that's industrialisation. And a big part of it also is medical technology and medical breakthroughs, because the medicine we have now keeps people alive so much longer. People are living such longer lives. It's like the advent of penicillin. Before that, people could die of the common cold, and now we have penicillin. Now that's nothing. It's not even an issue anymore if you get the cold. I'm not sure if I've got my medicines right, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Medicine and breakthroughs in medicine, which are all part of the technology boom and the science boom that has been happening for a few hundred years, extend the lifespan of people on the planet significantly and lift quality of life and prevent suffering. So I see all this technology now, that all this technology prevents suffering, because there was times in the ancient world where the vast majority of people were like animals in the wild. They didn't know what they were going to eat the next day. There was no certainty that there was going to be any food, and if someone got sick, there was little treatment available to treat them. So the reality is all this technology and medical technology, things like microwaves, refrigerators, bathrooms, houses that we live in, that's lifted the standard of living significantly. So I envision a future where we live in a leisure society, and the leisure society is basically where everything has become so advanced, and there is such an abundance of material wealth and technology and material wealth, and the technology is so good that everyone has access to everything they could possibly need, and so basically the technology gets to such a high standard that quality of life improves so much that everyone has their basic needs met. Because technology meets basic needs which weren't met in the past. And it's important to realise, humans have been around for, what is it, 1,000,000 years or over 1,000,000 years, and for the vast majority of history we haven't lived in houses, we've been nomadic, and we've been survival orientated and hunter-gatherers. So this is a small period, this industry boom that has happened in the last few centuries. It's a small period of our history. So the way we live now, I agree, it isn't natural. But you can also view technology as a natural progression, and you can say that, see, people separate technology and nature in their minds, and they say natural is living in the wild in one with nature and hunting, and hunter-gathering, and technology is the opposite. That's not nature, but actually technology is nature, because as a species develops and gets to the point where it has the capacity to conceive of technology, to invent things, then they naturally start to do that, because they can see instinctually that inventing tools and means by which to do things more effectively will lift their quality of life. So technology is a natural process, we can't, progressing in that direction is evolution, and technology is something which comes about naturally through our own inventive natures as human beings. So I don't reject the Industrial Revolution anymore. I'm into improving quality of life, and I'm into, like, the government giving people free technology and stuff. Like, people shouldn't have to buy microwaves. It should be, the human right. Give people microwaves. Give them refrigerators. Make sure everyone has a house. That's my socialist mentality towards what the government should be providing people. But we want, I want to live in a world where everybody has access to the best technology. And then you can talk about recreation. It's like we have so much recreation stuff now. Like, you can go to a theme park. Like, what is a theme park? That's industrialization. But why not have theme parks, We should have theme parks. We want theme parks. Technology, movies, entertainment, things that bring happiness and joy into people's lives. So, we want these things in the world. My old vision of living on a farm, isolated by myself with my family, self-containing, didn't include theme parks. It didn't include Hollywood movies, didn't include the music industry, didn't include video games, it didn't include books. It was a very basic way I thought that I should live, and that I thought everyone else should live. Now I've embraced the Industrial Revolution. I see that there's no reason we can't have all this awesome stuff, and life can be this just exciting joyride. If we can get technology to a level where everyone has their basic needs met and everyone has everything they could possibly need, life can just become fun, and everything will be taken care of. And that's what I talk about in my video on full automation and the creative economy. We get to a point where everybody has everything, and there's need for survival isn't even a question anymore. Everyone can absolutely survive, and they'll be perfectly fine, because the technology is there to make everyone's lives comfortable and relaxing, so everyone can just do what they want with their time, especially when the robots do all the menial tasks for us. It becomes a leisure society where everyone can just do fun things in life and have fun and create music and do art. So I've become very pro-tech, pro-technology, and pro-industrialisation now. But as I said, it's important to me that we use clean energy and that we recycle it, because we can't destroy the planet. But I can see that we can have the best of both worlds. It's not one or the other. We can have all this technology and great stuff and this high standard of living, and we can do so in a way that doesn't destroy the planet, but we need green technology and we need to recycle. So drop a comment in the comment section about whether you're pro or against the Industrial Revolution and the technology boom, and whether you support technology or whether you think we should go back to more of an agrarian, rural way of living like I thought in my 20s. Thanks, guys.